boosted spark. Take it straight to the pit, you sickening piece of slag.
You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 379, recorded on August 20th, 2014. I'm your host, Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Headmaster Don. Rob Springer's back. We have Melvar, Diecast, and Chris, formerly known as XV, and probably currently known as well, because that's what I'll call him throughout the show.
Yes.
So, on the show this week, we have some news. You know, we have a few items. We have This Week in History. We have, which is now a regular segment, the live Q&A with Rob Springer. And we're going to try to squeeze a topic out of the show.
We're going to be here forever.
Yeah, we'll see how this works.
What? Why do I feel so ashamed where we're going to get a topic somehow, guys?
Yeah, so let's see how this works out. So, let's see here. So, on the site, on tformers.com this week, we have a review of Robots in Disguise number 32. Have you read it yet, XV? Was it your review or Rob's?
Yeah, I wrote that review,
okay.
So I think I've read the issue.
Did you like it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well,
you're supposed to say, like, go to T-Formers and read it to find out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Well, you can go to T-Formers and find out why I didn't like it.
There you go.
There you go.
It's not really a spoiler to say that I didn't like it, but you can go find out the details later.
Because they're on Earth and they're human characters?
So that's
no, I don't think that's necessarily a death sentence for this book. It's just, it's not being done very well.
So
that's sad to hear.
Is that the only book out this week?
Transformers.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's the only comic book ever out this week.
It's the only one I'm reading.
Multiversity, or whatever, however it's called, by Grant Morrison came out this week. Yeah.
Why?
So whenever Grant Morrison is like unchecked and can do whatever he wants, it kind of doesn't make sense. So if you like thinking that something makes sense and thinking that you're smarter because it kind of makes sense to you, go ahead and check that out. I liked it, so take that for what you will. Let's see here. So This Week in History. So this one is pretty interesting. So in 1984, the first known Transformers newspaper advertisement was published. It was, let's see here, let's go to the Roboplastic Apocalypse, which is the blog of our friend Crazy Steve. Yeah. It was in, what is that, Rob?
I love the issue.
Okay, there you go. His internet's not working.
That was
That's Rob. Okay, so we got the burp. The burp came through just fine.
Thank you, Comcast.
Oh, we love Comcast. So
it's Comcastic.
Comcastic. So
use it or die.
What I've always loved about the blog is that, like, these newspaper ads were all hyper local. Sometimes done actually by the retailer. If they were a little bigger, they might have had an agency do it. But in the 80s, they're almost always bad. So we have here a couple things that I thought was really interesting. So they have, let's see here. Oh, there's so many Transformers knockoffs or wannabes. The Tobot Laser Blaster. Was that
really a knockoff?
Was that a version? I can't tell from the picture. Was that a version of Shockwave, or was that like Shockwave was, or is that just something that looks similar?
Well, the packaging looks like Shockwave. The legs look like Shockwave, but I can't tell on the main robot body.
Yeah. Company called Transforming Robot Laser Gun.
Wow, I remember seeing ads similar to this.
Yeah, I know.
Roses.
Roses was a
Kmart. Yeah, Roses
local
was
chain for
the big,
us.
that was a big boy back then.
Sears had a catalog like that.
Kmart.
No, it wasn't a catalog. It was a newspaper ad.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
So
It was like $8.99 for the Autobot cars. Megatron and Prime, $17.99.
yeah,
I think it's interesting that $8.99 in today's money is like $18.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So really, things haven't really changed much.
Yeah, well, so here are the Hasbro Transformers Autobot cars, $8.97 each, and considering the amount of metal that were that was in these, that's actually not bad, even if it was like $18.
Well, I remember being with my mom buying back to school clothes with my mom at Kmart, and there at the register on the little shelves, the impulse items, they had Wave 1 and Wave 2. I saw tracks and skids and wheeljack, just shelf after shelf of Autobot cars.
Yeah. Here's another ad from a couple months after, where the cars are $8.99 at a different retailer. That's man.
Yeah, the mini cars was $249 at one place.
These ads are really, really primitive. You would think in the '80s they could do better.
Wow, just
Look at those.
yeah. Well, I remember I actually have a couple of cutouts from the Sears catalog. I don't remember doing it, but I found them, and it wasn't much better than the Sears catalog, other than in color.
They were in color, but the photos were still bad.
Yeah, it was still mistransformed. I think they had Scrapper with the shovel up over his head, and one leg was bent the wrong way. It was just weird, but. The nostalgia factor on this, for me anyway, is just huge because I remember seeing these in papers and just.
Yeah, I remember going to. Let's see here. We had you mentioned Roses, and that was a local chain, and because they still exist, and it's kind of funny when a chain is like really small like that. There's not necessarily a lot of money going in and out. There are a handful of those stores that still exist today, and if you go in, they are exactly like they were in the 80s. The registers have been updated, but occasionally you'll actually find stuff that was on the shelf since like the 80s. Not so much at Roses, but you can definitely find stuff from the early 2000s, and maybe if you're lucky from the 90s, like but it's crap like old wrestling figures and stuff that nobody really wants.
Well, I mentioned this. Oh,
hello, Massey. Back in the early 2000s, a Roses that was about 45 minutes from here still had sealed Nintendo Entertainment System games.
Wow.
From that point it would have been like 16 years. God, only 16 years.
Is that because they never marked them down, so they're still like $50?
Nintendo games, like when they came out, or at least when I was able to afford them, they were like in the $20 and $30 range. But they were still at that price range. So we now have photos of. I think we actually might have had some before. We have new photos of Nightbeat, which is now out of the box or off the card. He doesn't look awful. It's a terrible toy, but it doesn't look bad.
Not a terrible toy.
It's pretty bad.
No,
I hate it.
It's better than Rat Trap.
Well, it looks better as Nightbeat.
Oh, it does look much better as Nightbeat.
Well, it looks better
not
as
a bad
Goldfire too. It was just the Bumblebee use that was horrible.
Yeah, it's not a bad $15 toy. It's and if you can get it for $10, some of the stores still have the generations on sale for $10.
Yeah.
They probably won't by the time this actually hits the store.
That's true. But I would say it's worth picking up, even though it's not it's an okay mold. It's not great.
It's fine. It's not a deeply flawed mold, and it's not like we're going to get another Nightbeat anytime soon either.
Yeah.
Another
I'm
toy
amazed we got this one.
Another non-headmaster.
I just think
yeah, sorry, Don.
It's all right, and I think it's just a good example of the right paint job on the right mold. Because this is the third time we've used it, and I think this could be the best looking definitely, like you said, better than Bumblebee, and at least on par with Goldbug, if not better. It's just the right paint job for the right mold.
You know, I think Goldfire might be a little bit better overall in terms of deco, because this Nightbeat does have the yellow paint again, which isn't quite covering over the blue, so... You know, it's got like a green
tint.
Yeah. There's a little bit of gross going on in the paint, but you know that just kind of happens. Yellow paint sucks. It's kind of the long and short of it.
I'm not.
Go ahead.
I agree, Rob.
Oh, Rob.
Don, I was going to say you shouldn't hate on this figure because his head doesn't pop off. You're a headmaster, and your head won't pop off.
That you know of.
Give Massey some time. No, can you imagine though, with the size the head is on that toy, how like tiny and fragile a headmaster would actually have been?
We don't have the technology to make them like that yet.
Yeah.
No, and I think if they did that, they would not worry about the size of the head anyway. It would not have to contain within the body anymore. So
yeah, it's more like a Brain Master.
Now, if Hasbro wants to do a 2-up of this, like if we went from Cyberverse to Deluxe. If we went from Deluxe to, say...
Voyager?
Well, I'm thinking that this might be a good time to bring the Ultra class back.
Ultra Nightbeat?
Well, I mean...
I really don't see that, Don.
Now, Ultra was step below Voyager, wasn't it?
Yes.
No, it was the next step up.
Ultra?
No,
that's Mega. Mega was the step below.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Mega.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I got my terminology backwards. So, you know, just give it just a little more mass to have a headmaster, and then maybe with having more surface and a bigger toy, maybe they could put a little more paint on there since they're using a larger price point.
No. More paint is the problem. It needs less paint. Less of that yellow. Make the yellow parts plastic, not paint.
Oh,
yeah.
I do wish they would have molded a new chess piece for this.
Yeah, that would have helped some. That would have helped.
That's my one major problem with this anyway, because that's what drags in vehicle mode, is that chest.
I haven't found that to actually drag.
I don't touch that toy, so to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think you have the worst one too.
Yeah, there's a chance it could.
It hasn't been my experience though.
Mine does. Mine does drag on that.
Well, do you think maybe we should? Well, Animated Plastic, said he wished they used the jazz mold.
Yes.
Do you think that?
Well, okay. But like the jazz mold is a great mold, but it's not a good Nightbeat.
And this is also got to be cheaper to produce.
Oh, it has to be.
That's the other thing too. This was gonna be the Nightbeat mold up to a point, far enough along where the comic cover art was done.
Right. But
they didn't want to go back and change that. We saw the solicitations with the jazz and a Nightbeat head, and actually different clip-on parts. They were going to be searchlights instead of speakers.
I still would rather have had the jazz mold, just because it's...
I would love to have another use of the jazz mold, but between these two, I would rather take the Goldfire toy as Nightbeat, because it looks more like a Nightbeat.
I'm just wondering if we might get the jazz as Nightbeat for a BotCon exclusive.
Probably not.
No. Because we're getting this toy, they're not going to do an exclusive anytime soon of the same character.
Maybe years
and they've
from now.
already done a Nightbeat.
So what was the head? Was it a new head for Nightbeat with the jazz mold?
Yeah.
Was it a Nightbeat head?
From what we could see, the solicitation was like, thumbnail size. So we never actually got a bigger one, but I mean, you could tell it was not the jazz head.
If there was a Nightbeat tooling for that, I mean, it's conceivable that FunPub might do it a few, years from now. But
yeah, maybe unless but the new parts also could have just been like resin sculpt in before they actually got to the point of making new toolings for it.
Maybe. Let's see here.
I wouldn't count on there being any like new parts actually existing that could be produced later.
So what I'm seeing right now, let's see here. We have official G1 themed products from Paladone, including a foam board 3D puzzle and an Optimus Prime egg cup. So the egg cup, is that a Japanese thing? or is that just a random?
It's got to be a Japanese thing.
I don't want to sound like, I'm like socially, like I am socially inept, like I am culturally inept. I am culturally inept. I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so I don't get this.
Yeah, it's.
Ender seems to like it though.
Oh, Ender will buy it.
Yeah,
Ender will be like, I don't have an Optimus Prime that's an egg cup. I must get
He does
that.
now.
or he will soon.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these are great. That's the only one that really confused me.
I don't like the robots in disguise because I don't like that hipster mustache thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I thought that was kind of funny.
But it's a coffee cup, so.
Yeah, and right now I'm stuck with my Spider-Man or my Ninja Turtles coffee cup. So I do need a Transformers coffee cup.
That,
Caffeine.
I thought that keychain that turned into, like, the headphone splitter and the stylus was a pretty neat idea.
So let me go back to that. So it's a headphone splitter and a stylus.
Yeah.
So
and a keychain.
Wow.
It's a 3-in-1. It's a triple changer.
So I never, ever, ever, ever need a headphone splitter. And if I do, I wouldn't use that one. I have, like for like podcast stuff, I need that occasionally, but I would never use that. That stylus is too small, but that would make a nice keychain. So they should have just made a nice keychain and said "screw you" to the stylus. And the
well, there are nice keychains out there already.
Besides,
What
just
about
because
that
you would
light?
use that headphone splitter for that purpose doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't be interested in having that as an option.
I've never seen anyone use a headphone splitter.
But you haven't seen
like-
everybody in the world, have you?
Not yet.
In like
Working on it.
1995, maybe.
If you're on a plane, people use them on the plane.
Yeah.
Man, I hate that stylus.
What about the light? You have to like the light.
Oh, the light's pretty cool.
Light's cool.
You can pull that. That would look pretty nice on my desk, honestly.
I wish I would know where to pre-order these or buy these from, but
I do like the light. I kind of wish it was red, but that's pretty slick looking.
They need to make bigger pockets for these giant keychains.
I'm in favor of bigger pockets in general.
Well, if you wear big man pants like I do, you can put like a 9-inch tablet in your pocket.
The key fob on my car is pushing it,
Well, that's what you get
your
from watching
pants might be
videos
too
everywhere.
tight, Rob.
My junk's too big. I'm horrible at buying big boy clothes.
So here's an Autobot symbol for your...
The rest of us.
Yeah, no, for your sporty luxury sedan, I guess.
I already got one.
Yeah, my car. I don't have a sporty luxury sedan, but I've got an Autobot symbol on my mid-size sedan that I bought for BotCon.
I have a
came from
sporty.
factory with.
Yeah.
I have a sporty sedan that looks expensive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I guess
right,
that works.
But you have the superiorly awesome G2 symbol.
And I have, yeah, that's true. And I have a G2 symbol that is about as big as that one right there. So I want to put it on the hood so bad, but Kim says no.
I have a black symbol on my window, so you can't see it unless you're like right up on it. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm classy, yo.
Yeah.
Why is it so big?
Well, diecast.
So it looks like a transformer.
I wish they would do one of these in the white outline design, so you could put on a red vehicle.
Yeah, that would look nice.
And it would look kind of like the way Sideswipe, because see, Sideswipe had just a white outline, and the red came from his the body.
I found
If you want just that, though, you can go to a graphics place and they'll print that up.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and it's not expensive.
Or you can get your keys out and just start scraping in the paint.
Just search eBay. That's where I got my G2 symbol at, and it's great. The guys who did it, it was super cheap. It was super quick. Somebody will do that for you.
eBay, Amazon, anything. I mean, really.
I find that eBay is better for that because they don't have to set up like an account with Amazon.
Right. I should do it next time because for my Fit, I wanted a G2 symbol, and I had a plentiful of them, and I ended up just getting a regular one. But then for my Fusion, I wanted a 3-inch G2 symbol because the window I was putting on is kind of small, and nope. So yeah, maybe I'll try that next time I buy a sticker. I bought one at Five Below. So.
Oh yeah, I got the one, that white one from Five Below.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
picked that up.
I'm tempted to take off the black one and put that one in, but my car's really pretty, and I kind of feel bad about some.
Are you driving the car to TFCon? Or are you going to fly?
Yes.
Sweet.
No, yeah, I'm driving it.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's not. My Fit got 40 miles a gallon, but people kept running into it, so I'll take 30 miles a gallon and no one hits it.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry I didn't see you there.
That's exactly what they said as Sasquatch got out pissed off.
Is that a clown car?
It's a TARDIS. What the?
Yeah, my
big symbol.
XP can attest that my Elantra will really hold a lot of man.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Your Yaris did.
The Yaris did too. Yeah.
Though I probably couldn't do that again now because, like, when we were driving Ender to the airport, you remember how we were all kind of cramped in there and I was holding, like, all the supplies on my lap and the Tupperware containers? My knee doesn't bend like that anymore.
I can't wait. And Ender hugged me. We're going to see Ender at Chicago. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Ender's such an awesome dude.
He is.
Can't wait to see Ender. Yeah. Getting a little teary-eyed. So.
A special guy?
Yeah. So, let's see here. So, the 4th subscription service 2.0 figure shipped this past week. It's a Treadshot, and I love it!
I got mines.
It is so nice. It's a great repaint.
I loved that. When, what was that? The Shatter Glass versus Classics BotCon set? When they said Treadshot, that's what I thought it was going to be. Because, like, it only made sense.
Right, right.
And so I was like, I really wish yesterday would have been better, so I'd have been better spirits to open it up and play with it. As is, I just looked in and yep, it's not broken.
And Cat got a really nice addition.
Yes. That's what really made this year's is the partners.
Yeah. I love it. So I was not going to do 3.0.
I'm debating to be honest with you. It's like I want to support it because I like the idea of it. It's just I'm only halfway there this time.
Yeah, I think everybody wants Serpent OR is
yeah.
Serpent.
Yeah,
Serpent.
That's me.
Him and Croc, and that's
now the one thing I'm going to say about Treadshot is that I like the bio because Catgut is a Prismosian cheetah. That means someone on the design board knows about visionaries, and he's a mechanical cheetah from a planet of magic.
M. Cypher
probably Greg.
Yeah.
How the hell does that work? But I love it anyway. It definitely, and Catgut is basically a chainsaw cheetah.
Yeah.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
This is one of those figures that makes me wish I had bought into this subscription.
I mean, you can go get one just by itself. I did.
And I probably will.
So
I paid for mine today.
I was not. I liked Warpath, but I didn't love Warpath. In this color, I love Treadshot.
Yeah, this is the toy.
I think Warpath. I think it's a very good toy. I like it as an upgrade because it makes sense for a mini bot to get that kind of scale increase. Versus a Power Glide, but I think a lot of Warpath was, oh god, we're not going to get it because of movie.
Man, I bought like 8 of those things.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's a lot of
$5 a piece.
Yeah. Great mold. The colors, it's Warpath. So what are you going to expect? But Treadshot is
and
OMG.
the thing is, it's Warpath, but they made the red really muted, so it wasn't really Warpath.
Yeah.
It wasn't Pow Zam.
Yeah.
I really wanted that, not Strika, was it Blast Charge, the BotCon thing they did with it?
Custom class figure last year.
I like that because Blast Charge is one of those toys I always wanted to be better. Because, like, I like what they're doing here, but it's like the Michelin Man, you know? So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's more like it.
No, and I still want the Strika they made off of this, too.
It's a good mold.
Yeah. It is.
This figure really doesn't do it for me.
Did you buy the subscription diecast?
He didn't.
No.
Okay, well then you don't have a problem, do you?
Yeah, well, no, definitely. I kind of wanted Thrustinator, and then I saw that Transformers Collectors Club put them on the store, and then I went on the store and it was $75, and I was like, I don't need.
I'll be honest.
Well, okay, yeah, but I mean, they're charging like $60 for Iron Fist, and you can go on eBay and get them for about $35.
Yeah, it's like with 3.0, it's like, as hard as it is for me to turn down a G2 Starscream, I am so damn secret out.
Yeah, and there's 2 of those in that set. That's what
Nacelle. I like the fact that they made a character from one of the books. I had phoned the books, as bad as they were. So I'm like, oh, great. It's got a cool... It's another Seeker.
Mm-hmm.
I know Seeker people, hey, they're happy for them. They get one more, but I like Skywarp and Ramjet, and I'm done.
So actually, now that I mention it, so for those of you like me who actually ended up paying this in installments, the next installment will be like within a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
good Lord.
I believe on the 26th it's going to be billed, they said.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like 1 month after the other this time. I'm
fine with it, as long as we get the figures. The timing on this has been a lot better. And oh my god, am I going to buy the next set for Serpent OR? Probably. Okay.
I'm glad there's really not anything I want out of the next set, so I don't have to even worry about, ordering singles like I tried to do this time.
I wish I'd have got the Joe sets, by the way.
I'm curious if it's going to be like the first set. I was like, the only reason I was subscribing is this is the better price to get them, and I'll just sell off the others. And I end up liking the others. So that might happen here. Like, you know what? The $300 will be cheaper than buying the half of them I want. Oh, hey, Nacelle's kind of nice. That's how it's going to work.
So...
But I might be interested in getting Croc at some point if it goes, fairly cheap. I don't think it's going to, and I'm not going to be heartbroken if I don't ever get one, but it's not worth it.
I've got five G1 Crocs, so I'm...
I'll get subscription 3. That'll be my first one because I am one of the Seeker people. XV, I know you hate that mold. I'm sorry, but I will buy it as often as they make it.
And the thing is that you criticize it and all that. It is pretty dang cool when that one shows up a month. You're like, oh, dude, it's here. Oh, great, it's Physitron. Also,
oh yeah.
The subscription figure. I thought you meant when the one Seeker every month shows
up. I know.
Up.
That's what I was thinking.
Why don't they?
I would buy them.
I think that's the only thing that's keeping me on the fence about it is because it has 2 Seeker molds.
Yeah.
If it just
but it
had
also has
one,
a Junkion.
It would be
yeah.
I was really
I
was really eager when Generations started in 2009, and we got Thrust and Thundercracker,
right?
And Thrust and Dirge actually, yeah. When we actually got the set finished out, but 35 uses in, I'm just ready for that Seeker mold to go away. And yes, 35 uses.
Oh, believe me, I wish it was a better mold, but I'm not going to get one anytime soon.
The mold's not bad. It's just
it's not as good as it should be.
It's deteriorated. It looks bad.
Okay. This needs perspective on it. That was the first thing they made for Classics while they were in development for Cybertron still, and it reads like an early Cybertron toy the way it's built.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with the mold. I'm just there's a point where it's like, yeah, here it is again.
Yeah.
It's like people have criticized me for. I've always said I like that Armada Starscream body better than the G1 version, just because I like the angles and all that. It's like you don't have to make Skywarp and Thundercracker and all that crap, but there's another jet you can use. It's kind of ridiculous. I have a couple of thousand of these things, and I'm like, I'm getting tired of buying the same one over and over. I got a good coffin full of Optimuses down there, so I guess I'm a hypocrite, but...
Yeah.
But I bought them like a decade ago, so it's different.
That's cool.
It's really cool for the people that like that Seeker mold still. I'm not one of them, but,
I'm happy for them, really.
Enjoy, 2 in 1 go.
Well, that's just it. I mean... Some people enjoy their hobby whichever way. And it's like, hey, if you're a Seeker fan, it's like Christmas for you because you got these, you got third-party options. There's Seekers out to yin yay.
So one thing we did get. So we got the Seeker mold, and we continue to get that. But we also got that Classics Jetfire mold that ended up, getting a few uses out of that. But Leader Jetfire, of course, is coming out sometime. Because apparently Toys R Us has pushed back their pre-orders to October and gave you the option to cancel, which I did. So apparently Amazon still has Jetfire listed for September 15th.
Yeah, Amazon has Jetfire listed for September 15th. Big Bad Toy Store, well, we all know what they do. They have
Walmart.
August, but they'll change it the first day of September and say September, and then they go on from there. So who knows when we're actually going to get this? There have been some people have it already that got it straight from Japan or wherever.
Off the truck.
Yeah, off the truck.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this, because I'm of two minds. It's sort of weird they've done a anti-Takara switch here, or opposite, or shattered glass Takara, where the U.S. version has all the chrome, and the Takara version apparently does not. Which way are y'all going to go as far as
Walmart?
I mean,
whichever one's cheaper.
If I get this, which I'm not even sure I'm going to get Leader Jetfire, it'll be the Hasbro one because I don't want to spend like $80 just for no chrome.
And if I don't want chrome on it, 5 years from now, no chrome.
Well, if you don't want chrome right now, there's a couple of solutions that will take chrome off without hurting the plastic.
Yeah.
All honesty, I really like the chrome on Transmetals, and I've been kind of nostalgic for that as of late. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, remember when they're really shiny? And I'm just going to be kind of happy with it.
For me, chrome has to be used like the right way.
Yeah.
If you look at the Target 2-pack with Fall of Cybertron, Grimlock, and the Dark of the Moon Deluxe
right
Optimus,
yeah,
Grimlock was...
Oh, we lost XV.
Oh. Hey, that's me
He's
earlier.
still talking, though.
Yeah.
No one tell him. No one tell him. Yeah, that's a good point, XV.
Where did I cut off?
Let me tell you, I think...
About how the chrome, the Target exclusive...
How cool
Yeah,
it
Grimlock
is.
was a good use of chrome. The little Optimus is just hilarious. But, I mean,
love
besides that, things like
Optimus.
Henkei Optimus, Henkei Convoy, where the grill and the bumper were chrome, that looks really good.
Mhm.
Those are the exceptions. The rule is usually chrome doesn't look that good.
No.
That Target Silver Knight.
Bad. I just think on that figure, if you're doing an homage to G1 Jetfire and Skyfire, because they kind of did a fusion with that figure, the chrome just doesn't really work.
Well, I think it's the gun being chromed and the jetpack being chromed is fine, but it's kind of like the legs and the side weapons that go on the wrist. It seems like that's just a little bit too much bling for me.
See, I'm against chrome on the gun, because as soon as you put that in his hand, it's going to start coming off.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out what we're probably seeing here. This is a new team. They've been working on the line for what, like 2 years now?
Something like that.
We're kind of sitting through their learning process, because it's like, okay, we're going to make a collector's line and a kid's line, but because we're Hasbro, we got to keep the collector's line kid friendly. We can totally make this work. A year later from now, we're going to see how they made it work. It's just, I think we're just going to have to kind of sit through the learning process here. I mean, we did it before a couple of teams ago. I mean, it's just watch and see what happens.
I mean, I think they're doing a great job.
They're
getting us a lot of stuff that we've been asking for and really wanting. I mean,
like Roadbuster
and combiners.
Yeah,
I think that goes to Rob's point, really. The Combiner Wars thing next year, pending getting the toys in hand and seeing how they actually hold up in production, I think that's the point where we're going to see, here is the collector's line that is also kid-friendly, because all the toys have an interactive play gimmick with each other.
Well, it's Hasbro, and when we say Hasbro, we might as well just say shareholder, because they're the one who makes that decision for the team. But thing is, what we saw it was SDCC, right?
Yeah.
Those are prototypes. That toy is going to look 25% different by the time we get it. So what is that? Next winter?
Some people already have it.
Never mind. Maybe it's a little further along, because those are glued together gray forms.
No. Rob's talking about the Combiners, not Jetfire.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
yeah, cool. The Combiner stuff should be early winter 2015.
Yeah, they'll be end of November or so.
Yeah, because those are
end of November 2015?
No. Those are the early toys for next year.
End of November or 2015.
Oh God, that's not
let's
that far
shoot
away.
week before Christmas.
Oh my God, I didn't realize it was going to be that quick. I was thinking like January.
So what we saw was a painted together and glued together gray form. God knows when that gray form was printed out, because that's what they used to take the pictures of on the packages.
Well, yeah,
and look at their last couple
mistransformed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Superion's got two of the same guy on the arm.
Right.
That's not opposed them. The head's going to be funky looking because of the comic cover. You can see it right there from Minosaur. But a lot of these things are going to be a little fine-tuned or worked out. I mean, just look at the back of the paintings on any Transformer you've bought in the past decade. It looks a little different because it's a different toy.
It's hand-painted, too.
Like
and photoshopped heavily.
Yep. What we're seeing there is their learning process, and Brian's absolutely right. There's a play pattern because they don't get to make their own decisions. Burp.
The play pattern's not a bad thing, though. I mean, if you have to make something where the toys are engaging to a kid, doing the combiners where all of them can intercombine together is the perfect way to do that without, like, compromising everything.
Well, let's face it. We always say play patterns for kids. What do we do when we're sitting around messing with our toys? How many Fruit Ninja armors can I stick on this guy? I don't even have them, but that's the analogy. It's like,
right.
As an adult, you play with it by, how many bolt hand knuckles can I put on them? All right, looks better. You know what I mean? Saying the kids thing is almost a moot point. They're just like, no, we're making a toy. Mm-hmm. We're keeping the shareholders happy because they fund it.
Yeah.
Give or take. Yeah, I mean, they're like, we want a toy. They're like, we're in the toy business, guys.
We need to make money.
Travis, come on, bro.
Actually,
go to Trader Joe's, get some organic stuff. Good.
So, speaking of companies that need to make money, actually, I guess Best Buy is doing pretty well. They sent out an update today that Transformers: Age of Extinction will be released on October 30th.
Don't care.
Yay! Yeah.
I was excited about it. I'm getting the Steelbook because that's awesome.
Good for you.
Doesn't Walmart has some? Probably Walmart has a pre-order where you get some sort of exclusive figurines with it.
Yeah, Walmart has a pre-order, and they don't really cost you anything. I think they're charging $25 for the pre-order, and you get little non-transformable figurines, 3 of them.
Yeah, it's the stuff like that that really gets me, the little tchotchkes, because that's like the really cool stuff. When you're like, hey, look at this, and people are like, where'd you get that? Birthday cake.
I never got that. I kind of hate that.
That's so like. The movie was... Spoilers, the movie sucked. But I'm going to buy it, so...
Oh, yeah, of course.
October 30th. Guys, that's right when we're going to be getting home from TFCon.
Yeah.
And be kind of moping like you always do after a con. It's going to be like, bad Transformer movie.
Again, I'm going to point this out.
So you're going to watch Age of Extinction and feel even worse?
Yes. Again, I'm going to.
I work in mysterious ways.
I'm going to point this out. People say if you think the movie's awful, or if you know you're going to hate it, why do you go see it? Because I'm the host of a Transformers podcast. Have I seen the Ninja Turtles movie? No. Am I going to? No. Because
I'll see it at Redbox.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
I don't.
I know it's going to be a bad movie. I know it's a mindless summer. It's a mindless summer movie with a bunch of explosions, but it's not a competent mindless summer movie. It's just a bunch of crap put together. Part of me still enjoys watching Optimus punch Graviton.
Mindless fun can be great, but I don't like.
It's not good mindless fun.
I don't like insulting mindless stuff.
This is how when I go to a movie theater, my undivided attention is on the screen because there's no. You've been to a movie theater in the past decade. The screen is everywhere you look. But
or it should be.
I'm at home. The Wii U controller is in my hand, and I'm listening to the movie or watching TV while I'm like playing DuckTales or something.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Future's awesome.
The worst thing Age of Extinction did was to be 75.5 hours long.
Yes. And the thing is, good Lord, you can watch the movie and you can see where the competent parts where it's like, okay, we've got a strung together popcorn movie, hit the why did we make a montage of scenes to explain something that needed to be filmed? Like, it's like, okay, we're going to drop you guys off at the gas station. Why? Just stay here. Spoilers.
So I want to say something good about Transformers. Michael Bay. The reason Michael Bay is
That's it.
The reason Michael Bay is put on these movies because as a director, he can make that his stuff sells. But the reason it sells is because, like from a coming together perspective, it works. You have Optimus Prime on screen. Is Optimus Prime really there? No. The actors are trying to act, like Optimus Prime is with them, but he's able to piece it together really well, and it looks really good. Irrespective of the designs, whether you like them or not, irrespective of the acting, the movies are really clean and crisp. So, Michael Bay, he is really good at that. And there you go. That's my one thing I'm going to say nice about the Transformers movies. One
thing I love about Michael Bay is he's an accidental film genius. Because think about Stanley Kubrick. He's one of the most heralded movie directors of all time. And the reason he got the great reactions and the great scenes is because he practically tortured.
He was a troll.
He was like Scatman Carruthers. He would make him film a scene like 100 times in The Shining. And it's even quoted to the point where he broke down crying, like, "What do you want from me?" Stuff like that. Michael, like the explosions. And why do they look so scared? I didn't tell them I was going to blow something up.
Yeah, that's legit. That's from an interview with Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. He literally is got that same. He's accidentally doing ingenious things to get a awesome performance out of people. It's like, don't tell them I'm about to shoot Marky Mark.
At what he does,
or he could just get better actors to begin with.
What he does is he's the best. He is the best at what he does. He doesn't make really strong story-driven movies or movies that have great acting. But when it comes to putting an action film together, he is really good.
I think that movie would have been 100 times better if they just introduced the Dinobots sooner and they spoke and had more influence in the movie.
A little more clarity.
I'm going to ride this thing till that's all it was.
Less montages where plot needed to be and a little more clarity. Just fine-tune the thing. A little edit.
It could have used it could have used a few more product placements.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I tell you guys what.
Oh, hold on. I got to drink my Pepsi Max.
Hold on. We get my Bud Light.
That's going to be our drinking game when we're doing the commentary, isn't it?
Yes. I may start drinking for that.
Okay, guys.
I will drink NyQuil. So, okay. Oh, my God. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I have a moral quandary about drinking booze, but I have no problem whatsoever about drinking NyQuil. I will take a shot of NyQuil during that for every time there's a product placement.
That's just because it will make you go to sleep before the first hour is up.
Yes.
You're just looking for the easy way out, you asshole.
No, if he drinks it quick enough, that's bad.
Did any of all the product placement, the one that was the most ridiculously arbitrary to me was Bud Light everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, hey, my daughter brought me dinner. How sweet. Oh, there's a beer. Every time you turn around, there's a Bud Light bottle.
Spaceship into a street. Hey, we just spilled beer all over it.
And he pops it up, drinks it. Yeah, beer's good, America.
It was like NASCAR that way, really. Like, he parks his ship, gets out, pops a beer, and starts drinking it.
All right. TFCon, we're drinking Bud Light. No, we're not, guys. It's not.
I guess I need to bring some cheerwine to TFCon.
Yes.
Yeah, because
and the one with the real sugar.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah.
If OTFCC 04 and 03 are an indication, we should probably bring a lot of stuff because it's a little sparse for places to get things.
And it's expensive.
Yes. I think I paid $5 for Pepsi out of a vending machine.
Ugh.
Yeah, so let's plan on that. Hey, so last item in the official Real Transformers news, Transformers Generations 2014 Volume 1, the package art has been released, and they're doing a Target Master Astrotrain. Is it actually supposed to be Astrotrain?
No, it's one of the
train bots from Raiden.
So it's one of the Raiden vehicles or trains.
It's pretty neat looking.
And it comes with Daniel.
Yes!
So he is a Target Master, Daniel. So I do want to point out, I had a really nice knockoff Raiden. It's somewhere. I don't know that many people that actually have like a real Raiden in their in their office, and like it's just laying there like it's like a Voyager figure that he got like 2 months ago that he just doesn't care about. Don just has like a Raiden laying around. haphazardly, just not caring. It's like it's just any old thing.
Don and I are of a special breed of insanity and Transformers, where people are like, "So what's that over there?" Brave Max, I think.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I think Don has like the rarer thing, rarer stuff, but you have way more.
Well, he's specifically aimed at some of the stuff where I was like,
you have this mountain of stuff.
I was like, he's like, I want to get this fire convoy. And I'm like, I got 3 fire convoys from Walmart. I'm good.
Also with me, when I first became aware of the existence of Japanese Transformers, it wasn't as price restrictive as it is now.
Right.
So I was buying everything because the guy that I was trading Legends Bumblebees for VHS copies of Master Force and Victory, he sent me the product catalogs from the Japanese toys. Because I told him I didn't know, I never saw any of the toys.
When I got to the point where I could afford Japanese stuff or wanted Japanese stuff, like Death Zaurus might go for $250, which then was a lot, but it's way more now.
The thing is, even when your Japanese guys were still affordable, like the $50 Star Sabers and stuff, I was 17. You know, it was an unobtainable amount of money for me. I had like a McDonald's job, you know, like
I was in my mid.
When you were a government contractor, why weren't you buying this stuff up, Rob?
My God,
you were making bank.
I was like taking random trips across the country and like
you made more then, like 15 years ago, than I make now.
The thing is, even then, there's a point where it's like I was going to buy an Overlord for $500 and the deal fell through.
I would have sold you one for less than that.
I would have bought it then, and I think I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm spending $300-400 a week on these things as is. I should probably, because it was like, when everyone says like the Japanese stuff, it's like I have a ton of Japanese Beast Wars.
Yeah, me too.
That stuff like that, I'm like,
I don't even think about that.
That makes me happy. It's like I want a Star Saber. I've had plenty of opportunities to buy them, but I was just like, that's just too much.
And you'll have another opportunity.
And we'll have an opportunity to get one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was bad decisions on my part when I had it. It was like, yeah, everyone want lobster?
yeah.
Let's go get some. I'll be back.
That's awesome.
But, anyway, to quickly touch on the actual subject here, the one thing I like about this, they took one of the worst mini-cons from Power Core Combiners overall, I think, and actually, like, figured out a good way to use its weapon form, making it a bow and arrow, or a bow at least.
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that.
No, I know.
Because what did he turn into to begin with?
Okay, so he came with heavy tread, so he turned into one of those minesweeper rakes.
That's what I thought. Wow, I had no clue this whole time what that was supposed to be.
And
I was just
it
like,
also
look, it's an
turned
antenna.
into it turned into like a claw weapon for the robot, sort of, kinda. And it's a really, really poor robot.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
But
but it came with the best Power Core Combiner figure. So
yeah.
Good.
I just think it's funny that even they're trolling Don, saying, "Here's a Target Master Daniel instead of a Headmaster Daniel."
Well, it's a different continuity. Things unfolded a little differently.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they're not painting Astro Train like a Raiden somehow made into one form.
Oh, that would be awful.
That would be a mess.
Like San Diego Minosaur.
Yeah.
They should just make it, our seed color. And then you would have RC color.
Let's just go ahead and jump to third-party news. So KFC finally changed their name, and we had reported before that they were changing it to Toy Express, but no, they changed it to KTC.
To Bojangles.
Yeah, to Bojangles. To Popeyes.
One of the reasons they changed to KTC is because they didn't want to seem like they were running away from their previous name.
But they should have been.
Quality issues. So, I mean, if you look at KTC, it looks exactly like the KFC logo.
It's
so
Toy Club.
Still a little cheesed about that.
They even still have Colonel New Gundam as their mascot.
With the tie and everything.
Yeah.
I want them to change to be like churches.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, they're kind of the third-party version of churches. I mean, You can go to Church's with 50 cents and walk out with a bucket of chicken, you know? I mean, and it's not good. It's horrible. It's nothing but skin and grease. But you know what? Dude, look what I got. It's like chicken. KFC. What did you guys get? I got a $15 cassette with an inopportune placed head.
$30 cassette. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the last item. So we have photos that of some unreleased toy, or they were never produced, but the designs for figure called Zealot, Triton, and Turbulence. Which do we know who? We don't know who was going to produce these, do we? So basically, so the designers for the third-party stuff, some of them float between companies, and produce things for different people. So these are figures that are based on Skyquake, Lugnut, and Depth Charge, and they're really nice looking, or at least the robot modes are. The vehicle mode looks like something from Halo or something. But
Warthog.
But it's like that hover vehicle that
my mistake.
So but here's the one that's based on Skyquake. I love Skyquake, and this is freaking pretty. It looks really nice. I would have probably bought this if this had come out.
I like that Lugnut one, actually.
It's not. So here's what I like about it. It's an homage to Skyquake. It's certainly not slavish, and it looks really nice. Vehicle mode. I guess it's bigger than that vehicle from Halo, because it's got a little cockpit area that you can see. And I guess that actually kind of looks Lugnut-ish, sort of, kind of, maybe. But its vehicle mode's pretty nice looking, too. But as far as the robot mode goes, I think the version that I think looks best is the Depth Charge. For the 3D render here has this really sort of like marbleized finish, and it looks beautiful. Am I the only one? I mean, I think that looks really nice. What do you guys think?
Well, you have an unnatural hard-on for Depth Charge anyway.
I love Depth Charge.
Yeah.
I really like them. I didn't realize they weren't getting made when I put the story up. I was like, oh, these figures look really good. Let's talk about this.
Due to a disagreement, they're not going to be produced.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting in the article, too, that it actually lists the person who, I guess, designed them and said they worked with, iGear, Mastermind Creations, Mech Ideas, and Keith's Fantasy Club, now Keith's Toy Club.
Yeah.
So it gives us an idea that, these creators are, working with different companies, which we've heard rumors of. But this is probably the first article that I've read that actually stated that.
I mean, we all knew it. But
yeah, I mean, we were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
At incredible length.
Yeah. The Lugnut. Yes. Yeah. I can't say something that I want to say. So the Lugnut one that looks really nice. It really does. I like the fact that each of these have their own individual heads, which obviously they're renders, so they can do whatever. But they look really good. And this is more of the third-party stuff that I kind of like. When something is so slavishly like an homage to something, when it's off, like not Hexatron, Hegemon, it just never worked for me. It was kind of off, didn't work. And ignoring what I might have said last week, like Mania King, he maybe a little bit off, not crazy about it necessarily, but these are Uncanny Valley is not the right way of putting it. It's the fact that there are deviations from the character model of Skyquake, Depth Charge, and Lugnut just don't factor in because they're not supposed to be replicas.
I think it actually is kind of an Uncanny Valley thing, because it's not like they're trying to do a perfect replica and falling short. They're actually it's stylized intentionally so that you don't try to see them as being exactly the originals.
Yeah. And the style choices are never going to quite be the same. And if you're dropping $150 on something, you want it to be the same darn thing, if it's supposed to be. So it's like why, if something Hasbro does is not, I can get a leader class figure for $50. That's a darn big figure for only $50. If it's not quite right, 3 or 4 years from now, they'll do something different that I might like better.
Maybe without Chrome this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Well, yeah, that's true. Let's go ahead and jump to Q&A with Rob Springer. So, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our pal Computron 2 sent this.
Whose name is Bailey. Everyone, please. He threatened me.
So
you call me Phil one more time.
So, dear guys at RFC, a.k.a. Rob, here are my top 5 candidates to direct Transformers 5 if Michael Bay decides not to. 1, Joss Whedon. 2, Shane Black. 3, Mark Webb. 4, Matthew Vaughn. 5, James Cameron. I would like to know what you guys think a Transformers movie would be like under each of these directors.
Okay, 1, no. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. And 5, like, really overblown and kind of pompous.
So, 1...
4 would probably be our best option.
So, I'll be completely honest here. So, 1, Joss Whedon. I like Joss Whedon, but I don't see this working.
I don't want to see a Joss Whedon Transformers movie.
It would be like where Michael Bay movies are not character driven at all and are all action. The Joss Whedon movie would
be exactly the opposite.
Would be the opposite.
Yeah.
Though he did a great job with the Avengers, but
okay,
that was a talky movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between doing something like the Avengers where it is, people, and doing Transformers where it's giant robots that are not actually the point.
Yeah.
And he's going to have just too many snippy jokes for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I have no idea who Shane Black is.
Me either. I feel a little better about that now.
I don't know who, like...
3.
I liked Iron Man 3.
I watched 30 minutes of that. It was a good 30 minutes.
It's my favorite Iron Man movie.
It was a good 30 minutes.
It was...
I didn't like the ending.
Me neither. But overall,
I don't think anybody did.
The fact I know people are pissed off that it focused on Tony Stark, but I didn't care. I thought it was great.
It was a good movie up till the end part. Yeah.
Mark Webb was the guy that did Godzilla, right?
The mediocre Spider-Man.
Oh. Okay, skipping that. Matt Vaughn. I don't have
who that is.
X-Men First Class.
Okay, I mean that was a good movie, but I don't think in that style would work for Transformers.
The thing is, people keep naming director they want to see based on movie that they made that they liked, but the thing is, it's always a completely different movie than what it would be.
I haven't seen enough of his movies to know what his style is. I saw one of his movies and I liked it, but that doesn't mean that I would.
Right.
And James Cameron, no.
James Cameron, 1990, maybe.
Yeah, like in the 90s.
Terminator era James Cameron.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
Yeah, when he was awesome.
But he's not that anymore.
No.
He's not that
20 years ago.
So for me, I think the one that makes
not even 20 years ago.
I think
you don't think he could do a Terminator-style Transformers movie?
Not
you
now.
saw Avatar, right? I mean, he had like a USB ponytail. He's like, "Hey, horse butt, come here." All right, now we're riding each other.
For me, I know it's not going to happen. And not that he's like too big for it now. It's just it's not going to happen. But I mean, like everybody says, like Guillermo del Toro would be up there. But I mean,
he would be great. But you got everyone says because Pacific Rim, but Pacific Rim's based on a different type of robots.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but the fact that he was able to put together a movie that was really fun, with giant robots. I mean, getting the giant robots on screen is the hard part.
The thing is, like I said, people like. I really want to see the guy who directed X-Men because X-Men was really good. It's like, well, this is a different type of story.
It's a different type of movie entirely with different constraints.
We can say this stuff all we want, but I'm like, how about since using that theology, that sort of mind process, what would you want to see based on what they've done? I think that might be the better way to work this, gentlemen.
Well, I am going to chime in, and I am going to say that I think Joss Whedon would make a good Transformers movie.
Would be good.
Because
he's not ideal.
One of the main complaints is that the Transformers have no characterization. with Joss Whedon, you would be sure
that's a great point.
That all the characters would get enough time to be a fully realized character.
That's a darn good point.
Maybe not perfect, but it would be more than we had gotten in the past. And yeah, there may be a lot of pop culture in jokes from the humans, and maybe some from the robots. But if you
go ahead, sorry.
But if you have these robots as fully realized characters, then that's one of the major things that's been wrong with the past few movies. Everyone's on the same level playing field. All the characters are individual and unique, which would give a lot to the story.
That is a fine darn point. Like Del Toro, or the guy that did Godzilla, while they were able to put that stuff on screen, did those things have characters? No.
How about... I'm sorry to interrupt. How about if Joss Whedon teamed up with somebody? Like, they put their...
Oh, yeah, so, like...
the action stuff that Joss Whedon's not going to give us because they're too busy making out. But he could do the personification stuffs.
A lot of people in the past have said, keep Bay for the action scenes.
Yes.
But have someone else do the non-action, plot-driven
moments. Realistically, that's not going to happen.
What we need to do is Bay and Joss Whedon can have their little cocaine party together off of Bumblebee.
So I mean, if we're gonna go on and say, like, you know, Bay can do part of it and somebody else can do one, let's just have real Transformers running around and, you know, and film them and not have to worry about special effects. I mean, it's the same concept.
The thing that just got brought to my mind is when Michael Bay would have to tell Joss Whedon something he said is not very realistic.
Okay.
It's like, look, she's not going to want to make out with a guy who's been trying to kill her for 5 years. That's not very realistic. And I know I'm Michael Bay.
But he's a nerd, and she's like a world-famous supermodel. That's not going to happen after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, look, okay, this is going to work, Michael Bay. Look, what?
Okay.
That's what's up.
But hey, Brian, Woozy Tiger in the chat suggested Peter Jackson.
No.
You guys know, I can't, for the love of God, I cannot say his name right now. And I want the guy who did Mad Max.
Oh,
that's what I want, mainly because of the Road Warrior, like just insane race.
I have what may be the best director for this. For if Michael Bay doesn't do it, maybe I think maybe y'all will agree with me on this. Brad Bird, Iron Giant, and Incredibles.
Those are animated.
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen
three-quarters of these are too.
Years.
I mean, three-quarters of the Transformers is animated. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that maybe. Yeah.
Because see, with Iron Giant, you had the sense of action in some places, and with Incredibles, you had the sense of
characterization throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of positives you could bring from those two movies into a Transformers.
So, my problem with Peter Jackson.
He's full of his own crap by now.
Yeah, he's really full of himself. I just don't dig Peter Jackson. Something about him he was this really mediocre, strange, choice for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then he got a lot of money behind him, and then he of course produced 55 hours of movies.
Yeah, it's
they're good, but the books are better, of course, but.
Bad taste and Dead Alive Peter Jackson is what I want when I say Peter Jackson.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
Yeah, not oh wow, King Long.
But 2014 Peter Jackson wants to split The Hobbit into 3 books. I know it's like DC New 52. It's done. You can't do anything about it. But come on, 3 movies out of The Hobbit.
Peter Jackson wants to make a 5-hour movie out of Ramona Quimby, age 8.
I've said this jokingly in the past, but I mean, J.J. Abrams maybe.
I'm not an Abrams fan.
I'm not a fan, but I think he could do it.
He could do it. He could absolutely do it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the 2009 Star Trek reboot.
I pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're going to relaunch the franchise without totally dog pooping on the classic
turds.
The classic setup and have this being an alternate timeline, I think that worked out a lot better than some other ways they could have gone. And I did enjoy the first movie. It's not my favorite, but I don't regret seeing it.
So his stuff his action's well paced. The characters are good. Things might not always make sense, but he's certainly better than Michael Bay.
I'm gonna cut the crap here. The guy who made Sharknado works down the street at Moe's. I'm gonna swing by there and see what he's up to this summer.
Get you a Joey bag of donuts while you're there.
That's actually. I'm gonna get an earmuff because I like the burrito bowl, and I'll say, "Hey, dude, when you get off, let's talk, okay?" He's gonna be like, "I can do it for $10."
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back here just in a couple of minutes.
You boys been bored?
You can hear our show on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones. On demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
The deadly inhumanoid tendril lashes out, and the forest comes alive as the redwoods help their scientist friends.
Nasty redwoods! Inhumanoids! Inhumanoids! The evil that lies within!
Redline and other figures sold separately from Hasbro.
Inhumanoids!
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Convert Switchblade to jet mode. Surprise, Matt Tracker. It's mayhem! Battle station. Protect the decoder, Bruce. I'm going up. Stacks ready to fire.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino.
Fire!
Each sold separately with action figure.
Cover me, Matt. 10-4. Sato's getting away! But you're not, Mayhem.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino. Each sold separately. New from Kenner.
Radio Free Cybertron has teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook.
So we are back. So, did you say balls?
Yeah.
Okay. So occasionally what we'll do is we'll actually take a news item that I am personally most interested in and try to round out the show with it. So the Collectors Club last week unveiled a new store item that they're going to have for 2015. It's not the club exclusive, but it's going to be a store exclusive, right?
Right.
Marissa Fairborn with a non-transforming afterburner. So I think this is possibly the greatest thing ever. One, there's a G.I. Joe element to it. There's a lot of G.I. Joe elements to it, honestly. But also, it's Season 3, Transformers. Those are like two of my favorite things. And the fact that they come together and I can buy it and it'll go on my shelf, I think it's great.
I just think they needed a way to use some G.I. Joe parts. Like,
because nobody cares about G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's like, this formula has worked so awesome. 3 San Diego Comic Cons in a row. Mm-hmm. Here, this is, and I'm a little lukewarm. Like, Marissa looks great, but the afterburner, it's maybe just the Photoshop is hitting me wrong.
I mean, it looks okay. Is this based on the...
it's the Firefly bike.
Firefly, yeah.
And the thing is, didn't they have that motorcycle that made, like, exosuit armor for the first movie?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't
what I understood was the figure that came with that needed special ports that had that connect, and they may not have been able to reuse the parts they needed to make a Marissa.
Yes. Scott Mort was talking about that earlier, and I was like, yeah, why did they use that robot bike thingy? But, yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, I like the Marissa well enough. It's, it really doesn't do a lot for me as it is.
I'm not making a Kiss Players joke, Don. Don't try to entice me into it.
I'm not. What I'm going to say is, finally, they're realizing that they can make Transformer characters using these G.I. Joe parts. And I'm hoping this will lead to us getting more human characters from the G.I. Joe materials down the line. Like,
here we go. It's going to be a Miko. I just want a Miko.
You realize there's not any G.I. Joe parts that'll actually work for any of the Transformers Prime humans, right?
No, I wasn't going to say Miko.
Or
Kicker.
Although if they can get some parts together that'll make a Fowler, I would be all on board for that.
I was saying, for example, Neo Knights.
Oh yeah, I'd be up for that.
You know, I would like to see.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I would like to see a BotCon set. Now they couldn't do Circuit Breaker, but they could do Circuit Smasher from Regeneration 1.
What could they use for a kicker?
Well, the old floor kicker.
A pile of crap.
The kicker figure.
The kicker figure was a G.I. Joe figure.
But I'm just saying, I have more hopes for this figure for what it represents down the line for me personally versus what it is itself. I like the way it looks. You got the girl that loves
Power Glide?
I'm gonna
You're not helping, Diecast.
Dr. Arkeville.
Yeah.
Please, I'd like him.
I would buy a Dr. Arkeville.
Oh.
But not only is this a novel use of G.I. Joe parts. You know, one, obviously there's the G.I. Joe connection with Marissa Fairborn. She's the daughter of Flint and Lady J. And so, I mean, that's cool. But, you know, more importantly, closer to my heart, it's Season 3. So there's a lot of Season 3 stuff that, you know, could be used that...
I've been drinking the rumor Kool-Aid a little on this one, being that this is 2 G.I. Joe themed Transformers Club exclusives, and they're attending rollout convention in wherever it is, the G.I. Joe Transformers convention. Do you think maybe?
I don't know about this.
There's a what is that called? It's a G.I. Joe Transformers convention.
Rollout
Thank you.
Call?
Yes, that one. Apparently, they're attending that.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe the rumor is true that maybe they're looking at merging the 2 things together.
Oh my God!
I hate to say it.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, to be honest.
I wouldn't either, but it's right there. It's like they've been, more people are going to the unofficial cons for Transformers, and Joe Con's been shrinking. You know, they're probably like, let's put our assets together.
Do you really think more people are attending unofficial conventions? No. No way.
It's obviously a cutting in.
No way. Cutting in, sure. Did I go to BotCon this year? No. Am I going to TFCon USA? I sure am. But more people go to BotCon.
Well, I was just saying, oh no, because this has come up for the past several years at BotCons. Yeah. It's been on, I think, nearly every survey from the BotCon set, and it's been brought up in numerous panels and all that. The logistics involved would be kind of butt kicking to get everything meshed up. Right. So they must have really found a way to make it jive if it's going to work like that.
Or it came to the point where, okay, we can either not do a Joe convention at all, or we can roll it into the Transformers convention that is still going to make us money every year.
Maybe the Joe convention became small enough they could actually fold it into it.
Well, when we were at, actually right after you left Joe Lana, Brian, I ran into a guy, and him and I talked a little bit. Okay, you know we're talking about the 12-inch Joe guys? They're pretty lividly not happy with Fun Pub. And you're like, that's who they pretty much cater to directly. You know, everyone else is like money making. So it's like, really? And this guy's like, only reason I'm going to this year's one is because it's the 50-year one. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, you understand? We have BotCon on the moon so they can give you guys lobster dinner.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the 3-inch guys aren't invited.
But I mean, you know, the Collectors Club has done some pretty impressive 12-inch figures. I mean, it's not been all 3 3/4 inch.
Oh no, they don't they do a set for each year?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like I think they're like, here's the put some 3/4 crap out. Here's the 12-inch stuff. I mean, that's their main crowd.
I'm not a Joe person myself, but I love the sets from a visual standpoint.
They're great.
Both the 12-inch and 3 3/4 inch. I'm not sure why the 12-inch people would be angry.
Exactly.
From that standpoint.
Well, I occasionally listen to some of the Joe podcasts, and you think we criticize them. And I'm like, 05 was pretty much the JoeCon banner scratched out with Transformers written over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can just imagine if these two combine and you go to,
that's so true, Rob. Sorry.
If you go to the official Transformers collection, they're gonna have like a small room. Here's the G.I. Joe stuff. We just wanted to get some more people to come.
What G.I. Joe stuff is there? What are we going to have? I mean, there's nothing.
I hate to say this, but this is going to be like several years ago when there was that small little Hot Wheels convention.
Yeah.
That was in that little side room that I didn't see.
And we got in for free because we were BotCon attendees.
Yeah, and I want G.I. Joe to have a convention that's so awesome it'll make you get on your knees and weep, because if any fans write that, G.I. Joe is where we were. Post G2, pre Beast Wars, pre G2.
And G.I. Joe's been there off and on for the last 15 years.
Yeah, they need a reboot, relaunch.
They need G.I. Joe Extreme.
Yeah, honestly, something like that. So, but okay, look at it this way. So, is JoeCon costing FunPub money? I don't know. I can't look at their books.
Probably,
but I can't see it being hugely profitable. Does BotCon make the money? Sure. Would Transformers fans be ticked off if more Joe fans were there? Maybe not. Yeah. You think so? What's going to interfere? Panels? Not really.
I've heard people saying the 12-inch guys would probably not get along, but
who cares?
We're pretty chill. Remember at Joe Atlanta? They were like, "Oh, you guys are Transformer guys. How are you doing?" They didn't seem to care. Yeah,
I don't see it being a big deal. I mean, it would make BotCon bigger. I mean, there's not a lot of like official G.I. Joe stuff going on. Maybe an IDW panel for G.I. Joe. Maybe the Hasbro brand panel wouldn't even come for that specifically.
Right.
I've
been to JoeCon. I know, Brian, you missed that one out in Atlanta.
I wish I'd gone.
Me too, dude. But any of you guys been to JoeCon?
No.
I don't have enough interest.
The stark comparison between Brian Savage's behavior at the two. I mean, I'm not even trying to say, like, we all know he's in for BotCon costing the money. That's no secret.
Oh yeah,
he's a businessman. I don't blame him. It's like, oh, moneymaker. What you got there?
It makes sense for me to do this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. But you see at BotCon, he's like, hey, and like he does his little speech at the beginning, whenever pre-register, he gets on the little chair and he talks to everyone. He's like, everybody ready for BotCon? He's like your grandmother or something. At JoeCon, he is walking around in a G.I. Joe outfit. Hey, everybody!
Well, yeah. Well, Brian, I don't know how old Brian is, but he seems like he would be of the age where
he'd be a 12-inch fan.
Yeah,
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can understand that. It's just I think if they were blended together, there'd be a lot of newer Transformer fans who are not really knowledgeable about G.I. Joe's existence. That could be the pickup they need. These kids that come for the Transformers and they see these really cool G.I. Joe toys. They see. Okay. I'm saying.
What world?
I'm saying that as a Joe fan. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm saying, like, for example, let's say they come to the BotCon or the Bot JoeCon, as someone called it. Okay, and they see a classic Terradrome, or they see a Defiant, and they'll see this cool stuff. Yeah, I know that stuff's vintage. You can't really get it anymore. But then they can see, hey, this is kind of neat. And then they'll see the new stuff that's offered. That does have its own positives.
So Woozy Tiger in the chat just asked a great question. So what about the dealer room? So you put the conventions together. Potentially, it's a larger convention. They can afford to be in a larger venue. So you could potentially have a dealer room that's just as big as the BotCon dealer room, plus the JoeCon dealer room, and you cater to everybody and there's no loss. Otherwise, whoever comes, TF Source, whoever,
and how many vendors that come to BotCon anyway bring G.I. Joe stuff because there's crossover between the audiences?
Well, yeah. 3H era, it was like, it was pretty random.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, hey, that guy's got nothing but He-Man crap. Oh, there's an Optimus.
Yeah. I see it as win. If it doesn't cost FunPub any money and if it makes them more money, great. if I have to it might cause an issue with people who want to buy exclusives if,
Right, and I think that's where there's going to be like a backlash where whether it's true or not, people are going to perceive, like people in the Transformers fandom were going to perceive that the G.I. Joe exclusives also offered are cutting into what would otherwise be BotCon exclusives and vice versa.
Yeah, I think we've gone too far down this rabbit hole because it's a rumor and that's not really the point of what we're we're talking about, like the possibilities that this Marissa Fairborn figure really, I think, gives us a vision. Yeah, lends into. I mean, there are other things that could happen, G.I. Joe related or not. There's the opportunity. Maybe if we're getting a G.I. Joe crossover, maybe we could get like a
Dr. Bigglesworth.
No, I was actually thinking. What are they? Planet Beast.
Oh, Battle Beast.
Battle Beast. Yeah,
that would be great
because we have those Takara figures that are out there. And those are Transformers. I mean, they're technically Transformer related.
Although, doesn't Diamond have the license for Battle Beast stuff right now?
They just call it something different, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do, but they could just literally call it something else.
What about Visionaries, Don?
I'm all up for anything new Vision. I mean, Hasbro keeps pulling these older properties out, and we were getting a Jim movie, My Little Pony, new versions of Prime. I mean, sooner or later, they're going to remember Inhumanoids and Visionaries at some point.
Can you imagine the gritty reboot of Visionaries?
That would be.
I've been imagining that for years.
The dark earth, and it's like, and here comes the power holograms.
So I have some Inhumanoids like within arm's reach, but they're like in a box, so I can't.
Humanoids are so rad.
They are. They're great. Or I mean, there's other things. I mean, Hasbro owns Mask, so we already had that Matt Tracker figure from G.I. Joe. There's more crossover potential right there.
Mask is the best.
Mask is awesome.
And robotics, if they still have the entertainment license for that.
Oh, I'd like some Zoids to be worked back in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, what? So, yeah, is this a...
Maybe not Air Raiders.
So, does Marissa Fairborn, does Afterburner transform? No. Is it strictly Transformers? No. But is it cool? Absolutely. Am I going to buy it? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting it.
How about Hector Ramirez?
How about GoBots?
Yay!
The Robot Master.
No.
I think eventually we're going to get a GoBots set for... Transformer for BotCon.
Well, I mean, we got Bug Bite.
Dead dog.
We got Bug Bite in the 2007 set.
That's right, we did.
Yeah.
And we've gotten Crasher at Walmart exclusive. What, Rob?
I was saying the Copter also.
Yep, from Dion.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No, I mean, and that stuff is happening, and there is potential for a BotCon set, although. Like, basing it on the stuff eHobby did that opened that door in the first place, I mean, the molds that would work aren't really... They're not feasible for a BotCon set, because Legends cost too much.
So, real quick, I just want to go back to what we were talking about a minute ago, the hybrid convention. Maybe something Paul suggested in the chat, maybe FunPup could drop JoeCon and have a GoBotsCon. Just saying.
GoBotsCon.
I think it would be just as profitable.
That works. They would probably have many. They actually might get more attendees.
Make it like a hybrid GoBotsCon, MaskCon / InhumanoidsCon.
HasbroCon.
Yeah, just Hasbro.
Yeah, BroCon.
BroCon.
I think that would be different fan base.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay,
dude, where you going? I'm going to the BroCon.
Yeah. BotCon line hell is already bad as it is.
Open up more lines.
You're going to have to stinky middle-aged men over there.
I'm sure he has more church friends that he can get to run those things.
Okay, and that's the thing, too. If they combine the conventions and make the whole operation bigger, they're going to need more staff, which they're not going to do. So they're going to be running this huge convention with the same staff that barely runs a BotCon-sized convention today. Imagine.
I'm saying he's going to get more church volunteers. I mean, they're mostly volunteers anyway.
Yeah.
Or there'll be like a bigger push to get fan volunteers. I don't know how many fan volunteers they have, but Glenn did a lot of fan volunteers back at UTFCC. So
I volunteered. They paid for my airfare.
It would probably pay for you.
Yeah, I don't think it works that
they
way.
would probably let you in for free, potentially.
No.
You know, this scenario just popped in my head about how does he go about getting them each year? Like, just like, and Brother Brian has something to say. Got my convention coming up. Who wants to come? I mean, how does he do that? Just
It's a mission trip. It's a mission trip.
It's got to. I think of just the semantics of how do you approach your like peers about, you know, that thing I'm into that you're not. Would you like to go to Disney?
That's what I do with my wife all the time.
That's a little different, though, isn't it? I mean, she sort of signed on for that in a way.
Yeah. She and I had the conversation a couple days ago. I said I'm normal, and she laughed and said I'm not. And then she said you're less normal than you were when we got married. I'm like,
she's right, by the way.
And no. She said no. I told her I'm normal, and she said no. And I'm like, you married me. Whose fault is that? And she said you weren't like this when we got married.
She's probably right.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah,
I'm just really pretty, so it works out.
I still think for the first year or two of a theoretical combined convention, there wouldn't be a staff increase. He would still try to do it with the same number of people he's been doing it with for 10 years.
Yeah,
he's got that guy in the leather pants who's there every year. Run the lines.
Nice. Okay.
Run 'em.
I don't think I have much else, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. You can follow us on Twitter at TF Radio and join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/TF Radio. And if you're not watching live, you should be because it's great. We stream this live every Wednesday. We start around 8 o'clock-ish at tfradio.net/live and at tformers.com. Or if you just want to get a sneak peek, you can actually go to our YouTube page and just subscribe because that's where we stream from these days. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on YouTube as TF Radio Network. Thanks, XV, for getting a really long name.
I kind of want to go to a Brian Savage convention now. Just nothing but Brian Savage stuff.
So sandals.
Got panel on jorts, because I wear them, but that dude pulls them off.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, thanks.
This is how you work the socks with them, boy.
So if you want more of Rob Springer, what's your Twitter handle, Rob?
It's Robo Rob Springer.
Robo.
With the @ Don't be forgetting the @
And I am personally at B Kilby. Other guys, you can throw yours out there. I don't care. Go ahead.
I'm at Diecast2, I think.
I am nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Melvar's not on the internet.
Let's make Melvar an account. Just tweet for him.
I was going to say I really need it. So I'm not.
Right next to Massey the cat.
This is not me asking people out there, but I've been talking to the guys for 3 years. We really need somebody to push our social media stuff.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. And I thought maybe Melvar could. Then I thought no.
No.
I want me and Brian, Brian is one of my best friends, and I love this guy, but we think on different levels.
We are totally different.
I know. We're totally like the odd couple, except we're total besties at any situation. But it's he's we want to be professional and all that. I'm like, guy, let's get a drunk, dude. He's we gotta be professional. I was like, here's a random picture of his butt.
But I think the balance we strike is what makes gold. So
somewhere between us, there's an explosion and a small citadel happening in between it. It's we created life, Brian.
Yeah, yeah. So that's true.
You want to go get some pizza now?
If you didn't live 6 hours away, sure.
Let's go hang out.
Seriously.
And I'm at HMRC EBR.
Don, what we need to do.
Come with us. We're getting pizza.
Don, what we need to do, drive to my house. You're only an hour and a half away. Then we'll take the mega bus to Atlanta. And it's only going to cost us $20. And then we'll go get pizza with Rob.
Guys,
why don't you take
Diecast,
the
haul
mega
your ass
bus
down here.
Yeah, how do I get to Atlanta? I wonder if there's a mega bus that goes from Philly to Atlanta.
Ask Fort Max, he'll give you the best route.
Oh.
You might get to Alabama first, but...
Well, the mega bus is one way. That's the cool thing about it.
I want to look into this mega bus.
How am I going to get back then?
Take it back the other way.
We have the fur bus you could take in Atlanta, Diecast.
What's that?
It's a party van you can rent out where it's all like crazy disco inside. Guys, RSC Con in the fur bus.
Radio Free Cybertron in the fur bus.
I can't wait for Radio Free Cybertron.
Melvar, start driving, man. Come over. Pick up XV.
What we should do is we should figure, because I don't want to. I'm cheap. We should figure out like a place where the Megabus will take all of us, and just meet up there and then do Radio Free Cybertron. It's just us. It only costs us like $30 round trip.
How are we gonna get the exclusive though?
We don't have an exclusive.
Nashville.
Megabus
we should go Taco Bell.
Doesn't go to Nashville for me.
Does Big Bad Toy Store still have their C-Cons on extremely deep clearance? We can just repurpose them.
That's a great.
Put a sticker on it. Not even an expensive one, just one of those white dot ones at Walmart.
All we need is one that says RF.
No. I got Sharpies.
We could paint Snaptrap as Massey.
I'd probably just go to Five
Below.
Below.
Budget now. We're cutting into budget.
I'd go to Five Below and just buy random bot shots. So yeah, they have it, and the price has gone back up to $60.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's still cheaper than a classic.
And it's worth. It's nice. It's very nice.
I wouldn't pay $60 for it when they were clearancing it out for like $30.
Wait, did you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it.
Okay. So that's supply and demand. They have less supply, so the demand goes up, so the price goes up.
They still got Battle Unicorn.
They have less supply, so demand theoretically goes up.
It's like saying I wouldn't pay $400 for that Mittensild box, Fortress Maximus, because Sears clearanced it out in 1991 for $75.
Do they still have that palette of Battle Unicorns?
Oh. No, they sold through those.
Yeah.
Oh man, that could have been it.
I bought a case.
He bought a whole case.
You're all sitting here typing, I need a Battle Unicorn.
I got some good trades off that case of Battle Unicorn.
I'm sure you did. Battle Unicorn falls into my, y'all guys can't find it. I just walked into Walmart, there it was.
Yeah.
My magic world of toys are easy to find.
I never saw it.
Stormjet too. Everyone's like, I can't find Stormjet. I just walked in the store.
I found Stormjet eventually.
I got a Stormjet at a drugstore for $15 like a year later.
He was on the front page, like a whole hook on him at KB.
Yeah.
I live in the magic town of Atlanta where I'm like, what do you mean Age of Well isn't selling well? It does good here. Even the flip changers. Those kids, I'm seeing kids asking for them. Dad, doing the whole little flipping thing. It does like this.
It's pretty great. Okay.
We're keeping the line running.
We're keeping the show running. That's the show for this week. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.